Hello everyone, MikeMoneyGMR here and welcome back to Let's Play Prison Architect Campaign Mode. Right, I know we're back now, we're still on my prison screen, but no, we're gonna click this and we're gonna start the campaign mode. Man, that is one small shower. And so are their cells. So sad. And they put the toilet right next to the bed. Wow. Man, hearing that for the second time is awesome. Now listen to this. This is a tough one. There's a prisoner incarcerated at this facility who's been convicted of a double murder and sentenced to death. That's where we come in. We've been contracted to construct an execution chamber in time for the guy's big day. This is where I want the new facility to be built. Okay. The first step with any project like this is to construct the building itself, with enough space inside to fit an execution room and a holding cell. So let's get started. Construct a new building here. We will also need an entrance to the new execution facility. Build a large jail door into the south wall. So if you take a look at this place real quick, you see that they, how they did this is kind of neat. I like their way that they build their prison. So instead of having all the buildings attached together, they put a outside wall, like for everything, and then kind of built foundations inside. And, just pretty much worked with that as they see fit. So while my prison didn't look very, open and all that, this is actually kind of open, because, see, you have, excuse me. They have this whole thing with, they have the yard here. They have a storage area here. Multiple storage areas, actually. They have their cells. They have their showers. They have their, some more cells here. But you notice that you can't actually do anything that you normally would do, right? Well, what he wants you to do is build a foundation here. And since they use since they actually have fuck, I can't remember what I was talking about. But you basically know where I was going with this. Is basically they just kind of made all their things separate buildings. I don't know. I just think that's kind of neat, but at the same time, I don't like it because I just feel like your prisoners could easily escape if they wanted to. If they made it to here and was unmonitored, which I don't know if there actually is any guards watching this area, but if there was, they could just come right here, start digging, dig a hole in here, and bam, they're done. That's something I think is kind of funny. Your workmen are responsible for the construction of buildings. They'll collect the steel and concrete from this storeroom and take it to the construction site. They'll use those raw materials to build the foundations and framework of your new building. This is the slowest part of construction, so you should plan ahead when building new facilities. While we wait, take a look around. Use the arrow keys to move around, and use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. Or you can just zoom out like this and just kind of hug the edges. surprised it doesn't show our power right now. So during free time, they're just like sitting their thing. Notice how these guards just like, kind of sit here? It's kind of interesting. Instead of like, when they're stationed, they just move around like here. Inside the building, I want to sell in an execution room. Partition the space by constructing some brick walls. Okay. So that's why I made the foundation out of brick, because I knew he would say brick. I think he wants like a jail cell here and here, but I'll wait just in case, because I don't remember exactly what it is. Oh yeah, and you notice that for some reason the workers are able to open the door. I'm not actually sure why. Because in ours, you have to actually make it possible for that door to open on them. Actually, I think if we go over here to the security area, there's actually a like a security room somewhere that has like the. No, there isn't. There should be a security room that has like door openers or whatever, but I guess not. Maybe they just programmed it differently here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Now add large jail doors to those dividing walls. You can rotate an object before placing it by clicking the middle mouse button or press R. Really? Okay, I just found it easier to press R. Yeah, what do you know? I kinda wish I could like look at the regime just to see if like what they have them do. So I'm not going to lie to you, from what I've seen of campaign mode right now, that's looking good. We now need to design designated rooms with within those spaces. Designate a cell in the smaller area where a condemned inmate will live. Then designate the execution room itself in a larger area. Those new rooms have requirements where they become functional. The cell needs a bed and a toilet. The execution room requires the electric chair. Oops, wrong button. Yeah, did you see how much money we have? We have 609,000. Just a cool little thing. Sorry, didn't mean to stretch like that. I think all the guards are just like standing around here. Yeah, they're only carrying stackies. How the hell did they get to these doors? I could have sworn we had to connect utilities to this at some point. Maybe not. We'll see. Wait, where do they actually go and eat at? I'm curious. Ah, right here. That's cool. That's the essentials taken care of, but there are still a few improvements you can make. It's up to you, though. These aren't strictly required. Depends on how much you care about your prisoners and their environment. The cell itself could be improved with an outward-facing window and a small bookshelf. And the facility would look better with the higher quality floor material, like wooden floorboards or mosaic tiles. I'll do mosaic tiles. I did wooden floorboard last night. Outside you can add some lighting and a paved pathway if you think it needs it. This is the man in question, Edward Ramsey. A teacher once, would you believe? It's not our place to decide if he deserves this. The law has made that decision. We're just here to do a job. Once you are satisfied the facility is ready, you can begin the prisoner transfer to his new cell. Simply click on the Polaroid in his cell to initiate the transfer. Okay. Wow, wants paving stone? Fancy tiles. Let's do ceramic. Nice. I don't like how it's dark out here. It's kind of weird. Also, I think I made his cell look a little bit better too. The hell, I'll put wooden floors on the outside of it. You know, that makes no sense. You have no time limit on this one, so I'm just playing around. Was that all of it? Apparently was. Alright then. Don't shed one tear for this guy. He's a stone-cold killer, guilty as charged. He even confessed. Want to hear his description of what he did? It's juicy stuff. It was around 11 p.m. I mean, it was around 11 p.m. The lights were already on. I knew she was home. Now, there is a content warning here. I think some breasts are shown, just so you know. So just keep that in mind. Oh yeah, and some nasty sounds too. Okay, no, her breasts aren't shown that bad. It almost shows her crotch though too, so I don't know. But yeah, they're naked. You got that going for it. I knew I'd catch you two here. Edward, Just don't. What are you gonna do? Sheesh. Yep. He just shot them both dead. And surprisingly enough, he throws the gun on the ground, and I love how her hand covers his junk. It's like, wow, really? I like how the back door's open and all that, too. It's like, why are all the doors in the house open? I like how they put dead on there. Clear as day, if you ask me. Deserves every volt he's gonna get. All men deserve forgiveness, even him. Are you so sure in yourself that you can deal out such final judgment? Catching your wife with another man is no excuse for what he did. And you went there with a loaded gun, knowing you'd find them together. That's double premeditated murder. He's done nothing but cooperate with the authorities. This state is making an example of him. If he'd committed his crime 100 miles north, he'd be looking at life imprisonment instead. How is that justice? Do you want a guy like this running free? I'll sleep just fine at night when I know he's gone. What an ass! But I mean, you know, that's how it usually goes. Good work so far. However, there is one problem. The execution room isn't functioning yet because it doesn't have any power. We need to connect it to the electrical supply. Well, you didn't give me an opportunity to do that, jackass. How did you expect that to be a thing? We are now viewing the prison utilities mode, which shows us the electrical wiring layout for the entire prison. Each building in the prison is connected to the power grid by these thick underground electrical cables, which surprisingly prisoners can't cut. Power is provided to the prison by this substation, which draws electricity from the national grid. As you can see, this entire wing of prison cells is without power. All the lights are out. Sorry, to fix this problem, we first need to switch into utilities mode to understand why the lights are without power. Wait a minute, it was just there before. The nearest electrical cables are too far away. Our engineers can't complete the wiring for this area. Extend the electrical cables nearby to cover this wing of the prison. Like, seriously, they were there just a while ago. Didn't you guys see it? Might as well do that since that's what he's going to ask us to do next. And let's see, can we make him yet? Yes, we can. Actually, oh wait, because I want to show you what happens if you don't do this. Basically, I'll spoil you and say, yeah, you will need a power converter thing at some point, but it's more fun if I show you why you need it. I haven't done the second one though yet, so don't worry. I'm gonna be doing those somewhat blind. Oh, and by the way, I don't think your prisoners will act up during this time, so just so you know. That's funny. Excuse me. I know I showed off emergencies in a failed recording, but other than that, I don't know. Lights aren't the only thing that needs power. Your new electrical chair does too. Use the power cables to connect the execution facility to the power grid. The electric chair itself is a special type of electrical item. It requires its own dedicated power line. You'll need to connect it up directly with mains cables. I'm pretty sure I already did that. We were almost done, I think. We should test the new execution room at least once before we try to use it, though. I'm just gonna turn it on for a few seconds, make sure everything is okay. I love this. Well, that didn't work. Looks like we drew too much power and tripped a circuit breaker in the power station. The whole prison is dark. We're going to need more juice to be able to handle the power spike that the electrical chair generates. First, we need to turn the power back on. This is a two-step process. Switch the power station back on by clicking on it and selecting Switch On in the menu that appears. Then build 3 more capacitors so we have enough power capacity to handle the electric chair. Once you've done that, test the electric chair again by clicking on it and selecting Switch On in the menu. Yeah, if you actually zoom out outside of utilities real quick, yeah, everything actually is dark except for the outside lights. It's kind of funny. And the prisoners are in here like, what the hell? You know, it's kind of just a funny little thing. I think the great thing about this, though, is that it really does help teach you how to play the game, you know, in your regular prison building mode. So that's a good thing. Now, depending on how long these things are, I will probably keep them to their own episodes, which means since there's not very many campaigns to go through, they might just be like 5 episodes long or something like that, I think. So that's how many there are. So, yeah. There we go, everything's back to normal. Alright, let's try this on again. Well done, I believe we are finished with this job. What happens now is out of our hands. We did a professional job, and that's important in our business. Try not to worry about what happens next. Man, this is awesome. I love it. This music and all that. And I like how they have like jail windows in the church because, you know, they had to use what they had in the game. It's just funny stuff. Can I help you? Are you looking for forgiveness? I don't know. I have to do something. I can't live with the things I've done. You have to turn yourself in. Whatever you've done, you cannot evade the consequences. You will never be able to live with yourself until you face up to your past. I want to go back. I want to forgive her. I want to forgive me. I want her to forgive me, I'm sorry. God will forgive you, no matter what you have done, if you ask Him to. For those of you who are anti-religion, I'm sorry that you... just don't pay attention to this, more or less. But you must answer for your crimes in the eyes of the law. There is no other way. I like how it's the same priest as before. It is time, Edward. You have done the right thing, even though this world will not forgive you for it. You will be with God soon, and He will have the final judgment on you. It's like you have to like walk over to the toilet. Now, believe it or not, you can actually make an execution room in your standard cell, but it doesn't work the same as it will in this campaign mode. I don't know about you, but that'd be terrifying to walk into a room and just see an electric chair like that. I'd be like, holy shit. You know? Of course, I would never be in that position, so, I mean, all the same. I like how he walks over here as if there's a switch, you know? But you could put a switch on the wall if you wanted to. And look, he even has like the execution max and all that on. Edward Ramsey, you have been found guilty of 2 counts of murder in the 1st degree. The penalty is death. Do you have anything to say? Susan, I'm sorry. And that, as they say, is that. Chapter 2, Palermo. There's a crisis brewing at one of our other facilities. Someone started a fire in the prison kitchen. The priority is to put it out, stop any casualties, and prevent more damage. Use the emergency service button in the toolbar to call the fire brigade. Get this fire under control before it burns the whole prison down. Or not. In the next episode, we will take on this challenge. Hope you guys enjoyed that first challenge, because it's kind of boring, I'm sure, for those of you who don't like the building aspect. If you just wanted to see the story aspect, yeah, it could be kind of boring. Look how much money this frickin' prison has. Lucky bastards, they have $1 million. Ha! Anyway, but yeah, we need to put out this fire, and we will do that by clicking on this button here. But we'll do that in the next episode. Till then, everyone, bye.